You guys can't hear me, right?
Yeah, we
can't hear
can.
me? Can you hear me now?
We've been able to hear you the whole time. That's why when you say, "Can you?" Okay, so when
fuckers.
Oh, this is priceless. Oh.
Is it anything that would be of interest to anybody outside of yourself?
Yeah. Okay. So here's one. This is
Drew.
So my question. All right, I got a question.
That was terrible. What the fuck just happened?
Boom. Okay.
Okay.
Not how
Reintroduce
it's done. Podcast with Jay, Brandon, and Drew. Jay, fucking some legal trouble again. Fucking
No.
It's like the man is coming for him hard. Every time he turns around, he's got that ATF cock up his ass.
You cock. That is not true at all. There's not from my
God.
No.
And
listen,
so when is Chaz Michaels gonna stop running illegal cigarettes?
A boring life is what some people aspire to, really, honestly and truly. Just a boring fucking life. It's not my problem. This is a manufacturer problem, but Jesus Christ, you'd think that some people could get their shit in order. That's all I got to say about it. I'm not going to go deeper into this than we
nothing.
need. So,
this is not anonymous. Don't expect us.
It's not my problem. This is not my problem. So
can we be more vague,
what
guys?
What I've found is civilian side. The whole fucking thing is like it's being run by E-fuzzies and E2s. There's not a specialist to be seen.
We can't start an episode and be like intentionally fucking vague with this. So what Drew is talking about is there's a manufacturer that has gotten their brand pulled by the FDA. Okay.
And what kind of manufacturer?
They are a cigarette manufacturer, and we know this. We know
plugs.
this because of where we come from and what we do.
Where do we come from?
So let's just be honest. On our res.
Let's
just say my fucking res. You fucking. There are manufacturers, and this is a warehouse right next to me, and so this is how I've heard about it. That the warehouse right next to me that manufactures two specific brands got a letter from the FDA saying they can fuck off. Those brands are now not approved, and if anybody's caught with them after Friday, they are now. I wouldn't say it didn't say contraband, but I would just say illegal.
Why are they now not approved though? Do we know?
Yeah. Like what changed?
Okay, so here's what it was. They were under the 2009 Tobacco Control Act. These provisional substantial equivalents tobacco products, PSEs, were allowed to be legally sold by retailers until the FDA review of the applications resulted in a not substantially equivalent order. Okay, so basically what that means,
Obama.
And we're telling these people how this process works. It's really extremely hard to bring a new tobacco product to market because, number one, the testing that needs to be done, but number two, you have big tobacco against you. And so we'll go into some history here. When Native Americans started manufacturing their tobacco brands, big tobacco didn't like it. They loved it in the early 2000s when we were selling their tobacco in the internet. It was a wild, wild west. You would take an order, process the credit card, and ship that shit out. And it was literally like liquid cash. It flowed so fast and freely. It was amazing, the volume that we did. We were a $1 billion industry, and that's not even a joke. B with a billion at the time for our tiny little res, which you know how big Allegheny is. I mean, our entire, between three different areas, there's 8,000 of us. Or maybe it's two technically. I think there's 8,000, but there's not a lot of us. So $1 billion industry in that is pretty amazing, right? So what we did is we started to diversify. We came out with our own brands. That's where the Seneca tobacco comes from. That's where these brands are called Herons and Sand. There's a bunch of others. There's probably about 15 to 20 different brands that people came out with. And we started running into issues getting these brands approved because Big Tobacco immediately went after us when we started cutting in on their profits. They didn't like it. They didn't want to play fair. So they shut down the shipping, right? They went after UPS and FedEx. They went after the credit card company. So now you can't pay for tobacco on the internet with a credit card. You can't ship it through FedEx or UPS or the post office or anywhere else. So they pretty much kneecapped our entire fucking industry
Now, wait a minute.
in order to stop these knockoff brands from coming to market. And you would be amazed because you're like, look, everybody knows what a Marlboro is. Barely anybody knows what a Seneca is, but they are billions of dollars and they're making money, man.
And it's affordable to the people that live
Reynolds
there
didn't
too,
like
because you don't fucking live.
Right.
Yeah.
So a native brand, for example, let's just go with figures off the top of my head, but I know that Marlboros are like, let's just say $100 with taxes and everything like that. Native brands are anywhere from, let's just say, 30 to $40. I'm not going to specify, and the time range and everything differs and all the stuff, prices go up, but yeah, you're looking at half the price. Is the product the same? Not quite. There are some comparable things. In fact, there was a brand called King Mountain, which supposedly used the same tobacco as Marlboros. They were hot for, I think, 2014, 15, 16.
I remember those.
They were a massive seller. Everybody wanted those until they got sued the fuck out of oblivion. They were actually made by a tribe in Washington State who would ship out truckloads to us, and they would fucking distribute them. And everybody everywhere wanted those and loved those. But once they got sued and there was other greedy hands in the pot and all that shit, you can count on corruption. It ended up fucking their whole gig up. So, which sucks because I guess they were a good product. I don't smoke myself, but they were hot. So, that's a little rundown of the industry. So basically, these guys got their brand temporarily approved, and now, for what I know, that's been revoked, and it is, as of Friday, you cannot have these because any retailer that has these, they gave them 30 days because this was in April that officially this came out. I just heard about it, but any retailer still selling these will be subject to compliance and enforcement actions, including warning letters, civil penalties, seizures, injunctions. So yeah, there you go. That's a little craziness from the res here today, I guess.
Damn. What was our original
topic? The big green weenie doesn't fuck. I don't remember. Caves.
It was caves. Oh, and then you brought up the e-drums. So
yeah, e-drums.
I mean, that is a little bit of industry slice. So we can go deeper. It's a huge fucking topic. There's a ton of shit on it, but that's just craziness that happened. Oh. Now, obviously, I don't have any of these on hand. I don't sell this specific. I don't have a store to sell these things in, but if I did, I wouldn't want to be caught with them because that would be bad.
Okay.
It's still Wild Wild West, though. You know what? Actually, before I finish this, let me just say this, though. From what I've heard, because I don't dabble in this either, but they've got all this stuff on FDA. Now, FDA, federal overrules tribal law because everybody reports to the federal government, right? State government, we can tell them to fuck off, but federal, we can't. However, from what I've heard, this weed thing that's going on in the res now is the literal Wild Wild West.
Yeah, there's speculation. Like dispensaries everywhere, right?
The grain of salt. They get it from wherever they can get it. Doesn't matter where it comes from. So like I thought, oh, hey, we got to grow it. You got to get specific. Because like when you buy these from wholesalers, they usually have to be approved. You have to have a license. You have to buy it from approved in the tobacco world. In the weed world, whatever you fucking get your hands on and however you fucking sell it is kosher, man. That's how it works.
That sounds sketch.
Crazy because I've heard stories, and because they have to deal with cash. Like there's all this cash flowing, there's fucking drugs flowing. Well, I mean, look, it is a drug, so like weeds flowing everywhere. There's probably worse shit going on. Cowboy, really fucking crazy cowboy shit. And it bothers me because we have the power to regulate this and make this like, hey, at least let's do wholesaler. I mean, supposedly we have wholesaler license, but let's like make this like tighten this up. We all make a profit. We all, benefit from this. No, they want to just be like, hey, I got to hook up this dude from California brings in 50 pounds. And, but if you get caught driving that shit, good luck, buddy. This is trafficking. The risk and the inherent tolerance. It is Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I said this to you guys off air, but I'm going to say this on air. The profit risk margins for some of these things are insane. And you might have a better risk tolerance of smuggling, let's just say, a pound of cocaine versus the same amount of profit in cigarettes, because it's going to be in the difference. It's you're going to have to smuggle a fucking van load, 2 van loads to make up the difference. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug, but I'm just saying, like, is it worth it? No, it's absolutely not worth it by a long fucking shot. Let me tell you that. So sorry.
This affects
E-drum.
This directly affects your business, yes?
It affects anybody who's selling on the res. So, I mean, you want to, let's put it this way. You want to support local brands because number one, they sell. Number two, it's a local company. Number three, it does something for natives. Like we got to rally behind others.
Let's do something for them. Us.
Well, look, when Big Tobacco made this decision to cut us out, there was an unofficial decision to cut them out as well. So while some do
have they been going
like
back on the pack deck for decades?
We try to avoid it just because it's dealing with the big brands is messy. It gets messy.
Yeah.
When in the early days, in our cowboy days of that business, free flowing. They had their own reps on our shops and our retails and everything like that. They were really paying attention to us. And when we started again cutting into their profit just by bringing out a brand or two, they immediately turned on us and were like, we're gonna cut you off as hard as we can. It has kneecapped an industry. There were a decent amount of sellers.
Well, you guys had a good deal and you wanted to bring other women into the room.
Yeah.
And then your main one got upset about it.
I don't understand why you could.
They didn't like the cuck chair.
Why can't this? This is the thing that kills me with this. It's
sit and watch.
It's greed. It's straight up greed. We can all profit from this, right? There is a price and a market and a point for everything here. Look, I say Marlboro because everybody fucking knows that name. If you smoke cigarettes, you know that name. It is a premium brand name. We all know these names. The Marlboro Man, it is a name. That is a product. There are room for other products in this. And ours is basically a Chinese level knockoff in some ways that, I mean, it's obviously not Chinese, but you get what I'm saying. Like the equivalent of, hey, we're the little guy in the game providing a really cheap product. If you want it, you can't afford a whole lot, buy it. And it completely demonized the entire industry. And so it's not fair. It's not fair by any means, but,
no,
that's business.
Sucks, man.
That's business for you.
Yes, it is.
Corporations are people now.
They're always going to get theirs.
Yeah. And I mean, especially the way that they play. Look, nobody expects Big Tobacco to play fair. They've been fucking trying to game the system for years about not paying their fair share of health taxes, about all the lawsuits
their
and
spokesperson,
stuff that's happened.
Every spokesperson they have dies of lung cancer. I mean, it's a fucked game regardless.
And they've infiltrated other industries. I mean, like the Convenience Association of whatever the fuck they're called, but they're just a mouthpiece, and there's a lot of shit.
I got a new toy for them, Jay.
Dear Lord.
What are we looking at? Right. What is that for in general? What is that for? That looks like a scythe.
Shrubbery kind of.
I was looking for a scythe. But
is that a scythe?
At Tractor Supply, so I got one of these instead. It's nasty.
Which end? What do you use to cut? The hook end? Speaking of pedo popper, let's get into the E-drums.
Oh, what does that have to do with what? I don't understand that that segue there, sir.
What?
I said, speaking of pedo popper, let's get into the E-drums.
All right. Well, I'm sure somebody at Roland is a fucking pedo somewhere. Bound to be. They're everywhere.
This is not going to get sponsorship by any.
No,
we're not going to get.
I didn't say the CEO, which we could deep dive if you want. I'm sure we could find some dirt.
We could speculate.
So I had sent my wife a link. I wanted to grab a new set of drums, these E drums. $1,300. So I sent her the links and I was like, hey, you know, what are your thoughts on this? Like, just looking for something to fucking, you know, a way to decompress, to play, to, you know, for nothing major, right? But then, like, I'm sitting there and I'm like, I was like, honey, I need you to talk me out of it because I don't know if I want to spend all that on, you know. And we can always make more money. That's not really the issue, but
oh, like, look at me. I'm Drew. I got money coming out the asshole.
No, I don't. But you can always make more money. You can always make more. All right.
Okay. All right. So you want us to talk you into or talk you out of this?
I told Julia to talk me out of it. But I told her I was going to talk to you guys.
Why?
Because I feel like once I buy it, I'm going to regret it.
Well, okay, all right, but
you'll only regret it if you don't fucking use it. And that's one of those things that, I mean, just the violence that's inherent in playing fucking drums, just smacking the shit out of something. I can only see that as being catharsis. I mean,
so Brandon doesn't get to play my drums. You gotta be kind. You gotta be nice to. You can't.
Okay, all right. What about a cheaper set of E-drums?
You pay for what you get, and I want quality. I want to be able to play well, good striking.
Buy once, cry once.
Okay, all right, right. So,
like I said, you want to thrash the living fuck out of these things.
Here's the train.
Then you cry a second time when you break them for thrashing them too hard.
Here's the train of thought. The train of thought is if you buy a cheap set, you won't regret it because number one, it's cheap, and if you beat the fuck out of it, then you know that you want to buy an expensive set, right? So if
that's money after money.
No. It's determining value here. This is like buying a tool at Harbor Freight. You buy a tool at Harbor Freight. Wait, hang on, listen.
Ooh,
you buy a tool at Harbor Freight to test it out. And you realize like, hey, if I've used this tool more than once, or I break this fucking tool, then you know you should buy the quality tool, right? You know that you should buy because you buy.
Oh, I'm Jay. I got money coming out the ears. Sorry.
No, shut the fuck up. The point is that you go, did I use this? You won't really have buyer regret if you're like, man, I played that fucking twice. What was I doing buying this? You can sell it or just fucking toss it because it ain't worth that much. You didn't lose that much in the fucking deal. But if you're like, I really enjoy this and I'm ready to upgrade, then you sell it and you make $100 off of it and you fucking put that in towards the new one.
See, I was always of the mindset you buy the best quality that you can afford. I mean, there is a place for your Pittsburgh stuff. There is a place for your Snap-on, all this other fucking tool association bullshit. But like, end of the day, does it turn that fucking bolt?
You buy the best you can afford when you're dependent on that tool. You will buy the best you can afford if you absolutely need that tool. If I need a camera, I'm buying the best
because you bought cheap shit
I can afford. I'm using that every day. You're using the tools, you buy them. But if you're just fucking around, then you can afford to go cheap because you're fucking around. That's the point of the fucking around is like, will I ever use this? And if you're really not sure, buy the cheap one, fuck with it. And then if you're like, yeah, hey, guess what? I'm really using this. Time
Give
to
it the
upgrade.
max.
Now upgrade to the next one.
Well, that was the other thing. Is like I can I could teach my kids how to play on that. You know, like
those are the two caveats because the rule is, yeah, you buy the best you can afford. But if this is a test,
I'm sorry, you're saying the best I can afford is a $1,300 set of drums? Because
no, I'm saying the best you can afford is a $300 pair of drums. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh,
I could take out a line of credit, Jay.
Behringer XD8 USB 8-piece drum set right there. It's a cheapo.
I remember
little
those.
unit.
Mm-hmm.
It's looks like a fucking
the thing is though, like
Garage Band, but Guitar Hero. It looks like a Guitar Hero set. It literally looks like a $399. If you want to bang away, you're talking about a Roland. I see a Roland here, a TD-07 for $879, a TD-07K for $1099. A Yamaha DTX for $499, an Alisys Nitro Max for $499.
It's Alisys.
I mean,
that's all right.
What did I say?
It's Alisys.
Whatever.
Alisys. Fucking.
I'm gonna fucking do that on purpose.
Jesus
I'm gonna do that on purpose. And Alisys. I have Alisys speakers.
How many other sponsors can we burn today?
As many as we fucking
Gibson
can.
is fucking trash. Oh.
What the fuck did you just say?
I said Gibson is fucking trash.
So
that's all right.
I mean, like, let's discuss another. You even have space for a drum set?
Oh, he's got space. Look at all that room behind him.
He's got his garage door open.
I got
What's the point?
You gonna put it in the fucking driveway?
No, I got.
Well, I mean,
listen, half of a garage over there.
This makes sense because you guys know. I'm just gonna go with these rules. Buy the best you can. Buy cheap if you can, if you're testing it out. But if it's easy to fucking do, if you got to set this thing up and it takes you half an hour to set this fucker up every time you want to play, you're not going to play it. You're not going to play it because it's going to be a pain in the ass. You're going to go,
I have a spot for it right here. I literally am like, oh, that'll go right there.
If you pick the guitar up, you plug it in the amp, you turn it on, you want to jam. But if you got to fucking go to the storage shed, dig the guitar out, fucking tune the guitar every time you want to play it.
Convenience is a motherfucker.
Exactly. So if you got the space for it, then that'll determine. Like if you have all these conditions that are right for this hobby, the new hobby.
Are we already a half hour into this episode?
Yeah, apparently.
Dang,
what the hell happened?
You guys wasted time with that fucking stuff in the beginning.
You were fucking.
You wasted time with the fucking cigarettes.
You asked about it. You fucking brought it up. I said, don't bring it up. I just fucking got off the phone.
Well, let's go final thought, man. Let's talk about cave diving real quick.
This is a terrible episode. These things don't really.
Dude, we have been so far around the fucking world with this. So illicit cigarettes to digital drum.
Well, we could also save the cave diving for the next one.
You guys know me, right?
Yeah, we can.
I just
we've been able to hear you the whole time. That's why when you say, "Can you?"
Okay,
so when
in the Maldives.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah.
Oh, this is priceless.
So everything they did with this was wrong. I saw a graphic of it, which really freaked me out. And the graphic
is it anything that would be of interest to anybody outside of yourself?
Yes.
Okay, so
they had to go so far down that they didn't bring the right tank.
So my question. All right, I got a question.
That was terrible. What the fuck just happened? Right, the tanks were just air instead of the mix that you need, right? Because I didn't even know.
Because then you become hypoxic.
Exactly, right? So they went inside this cave, right? So they went further down than they could. Supposedly, when you don't get the right mixture of air and nitrogen, you basically become drunk. So they were pretty much disoriented, lightheaded, and ended up just fucking dying down there from all of this. And then another guy tried to go rescue their bodies, and he died from that as well.
He didn't have the right,
which just says that this is one of the
Boyle's law
fucking things.
Is that right?
Ever do.
Dumb ways to die.
I don't understand why.
That's Boyle's law, isn't it?
That's the pressure. That's
is that pressure?
Of pressure.
Okay, right.
Yeah. So that's like from the bottom of the ocean.
That's the bends. Got it. Okay. It's been so long, man.
Yeah. But extreme depth made fatal cave dive perilous at luxury honeymoon destination. 2 of the deceased divers were not on expedition lists submitted to authorities beforehand. So they didn't even know this is what 5 Italians went missing. They were killed near a dive site, and they've recovered 3 of the bodies, but 2 are still not located. And
that fucking sucks.
That just seems like 200 feet underwater, twice the legal depth limit for recreational diving.
Yeah.
That just seems like a series of bad and also scary fucking decisions.
Yeah.
Hey, Boppidy Boopy.
Who is it? Our old guest Edo. He goes to the Maldives once or twice a year.
Did you have to fucking
and we
say
rip
that,
on
Brandon?
Jay for being fucking money?
What happened?
Yeah, right? I don't go to the Maldives because he goes, hey, bippity boppity, when I said they're dead.
Oh,
5 Italians died. He goes, hey, Bippidy.
God, fuck, wow.
So now we can't go to Italy anymore. I'm sorry. So
Dude,
let's see. We got
Roland.
fucking Marlboro's out, fucking Roland's out, Gibson's out.
Elisis.
Now we can't go to Italy. Elisis. Jesus Christ.
Italy's off the fucking table. So there goes the tour.
God damn it.
We were going to get the band back.
Why do you guys let me talk? What the fuck?
Fucking Bippidy Boopity. As soon as I say Italian, fucking.
Come on, man. Here's fucking Jesus.
She might as well say, it's me, man.
Hey, Boppidy Boopy.
They died.
Hey, you gotta put the hand things in.
God, that fucking sucks.
They died.
I apologize. That was uncultured and crass and probably undeserved, but dumb ways to die.
No, dude, I hear about those like underwater shits all the time. Like those dudes that like go
shit
into
underwater.
like,
that's unsanitary.
like the caves and stuff. Like how narrow can you get and stuff like that? And you're like, what drives someone to do that shit?
I would be like, no.
What inside of you is like, I got to go see what's down there.
The real question though that I wonder is it because we're getting older? Is it because we're getting older that we're like,
you can't answer that.
I'm not doing that.
You've always been old. You've always been prude.
Yes,
Fuck you, you fucking dick.
No,
I would
you don't get to
that
answer
one
this.
too.
Like there was
Your perspective will not be
pipe.
weighed in.
Nah, fair enough. But there was a sluice pipe on my parents' property that went from one side of the road to the other. And I mean, it's not long. I mean, it's maybe 25 yards, 30 yards at the most from one side of the road to the other. And you can see daylight at the other end. I would not get my happy ass in that fucking thing and crawl through. No way. Ain't no self-preservation is way too fucking high.
Who did? You're talking about the story, and I know exactly what you're talking about. But who crawled through that? Did any of us crawl through that?
I think we all chickened out.
I don't think
we started going. It was like our first year at my mom's and dad's house, or second year tops. We had everybody, you, me, Josh, freaking Jace, Jacob, like everybody, and everybody would go in a certain way, and then be like, no, fuck this, and back out.
Yeah.
So no caves, no cave diving, no scuba deep water diving, no.
Guys, is this episode Bippity Boopity? Is that what this is going to be?
Bippity Boppity, yeah.
If you cut out the first 20 minutes, you just save the ending for Bippity Boopity. I think that's
Boppity Boopity Boppity Ba.
Well, it is time to end this piece of shit, and I think rightfully so.
You guys can't hear me, right?
Yeah, we can.
Can you hear me?
We've been able to hear you the whole time. That's why when you say, "Can you?" Okay, so when
fuckers.
Oh, this is priceless.
Is it anything that would be of interest to anybody outside of yourself?
Yeah. Okay. So here's one. This is
Drew.
So my question. All right, I got a question.
That was terrible. What the fuck just happened?